Hello guys, it's Miss Hans. We are going to be going over our math review and POD from yesterday. So go ahead and grab that. So let's start with our first question, which reads, a number is rounded to the nearest 10,000 and it is 130,000. Which number could be the number that was rounded? So we know that we're rounding to the nearest 10,000. So I'm going to look at these choices and I'm going to underline the digit that's in the 10,000s place for each choice. Okay, I can already see that I can eliminate one of these choices just based on that first step. I know that I can eliminate D because this 4 will either stay there or round up. It can't round all the way down to 130,000. So it will either stay there or round up, and that is not a possibility with D. So let's look at A. The 6 is going to make the 3 round up. So this is going to round to 140,000. And so we can eliminate that. The 6 over here is going to make the 2 round up. So this is going to round to 130,000. Already that seems like a possible answer. This 2 makes that 2 stay there. So it's going to round to 120,000. So we can confirm that the best choice is B because that number rounds to 130,000 when rounded to the nearest 10,000. Let's go ahead and move on to our next question. Jean threw a softball a distance of 12 feet and Lee threw a softball 4 times as far as Jean. Which equation can be used to determine the distance F that Lee threw the ball? Okay, so Jean threw the ball a distance of 12 feet. So I'm just going to write J, 12 feet. Lee, I'm going to write L. Lee threw a softball. Okay, Lee threw a softball 4, so I'm just writing 4 times. I know that means multiplication. As far as Jean we know from up here, 12. So to get Lee, we're going to have to multiply 4 times 12. Now I'm going to match up the equation. It says that we have to use F. Oh, okay, for Lee. So then this would be that. So let's look at the choices and see which one matches that. That doesn't match that equation, so we can eliminate it. This, they're dividing, definitely doesn't match. 4 plus 12 definitely doesn't match what's happening over here. And we know that we're not multiplying 4 times 7 to get F, so that doesn't make sense. Oh my goodness, none of them make sense? Wait, let's take a closer look. What about B? Something divided by 4 is equal to 12. Well, I know that when I get 4 times 12, I'm going to get something much larger. And when I divide that by 4 or by 12, I'm going to get one of these factors. So let's try it out. 4 times 12 is equal to 60. And if I do 60 divided by 4, does that equal to 12? Yes, it does. So we know, I'm sorry, it doesn't equal to 60. 12 times 4 is equal to 48. Yeah, so 48 divided by 4 is equal to 12. So now we know that the best answer has to be B. Go ahead and self-assess your work. Let's move along to our next question. And our question reads, the city decides to divide $4,388 evenly among 3 different programs. How much money will each program receive? So we know that there's a total. The city decides to divide $4,388 evenly among 3 groups. So if we're dividing evenly, we're making equal groups. We know the number of groups. Now we need to find the group size. So for this question, we are going to do a long division all down here. Okay, so we have 4,388 and we are dividing that by 3. And I'm going to ask myself, how many groups of 3 can I make if I have 4? I can make one group. 3 times 1 is 3. 4 times 3. 4 minus 3 is going to give us a remainder of 1. Bring down the 3. Regroup it. How many groups of 3 can I make if I have 13? I know that 3 times 4 gives me 12. So 13 minus 12, we're going to get a remainder of 1. Regroup the 8. How many groups of 3 can I make if I have 18? Okay, well, I know that 3 times 5 is equal to 15, and 3 times 6 is equal to 18. So that means I can make 6 groups. I'm going to record that up here. 18 minus 18, I'm going to get a remainder of 0, and I'm going to regroup my 8 over here. Okay, and now how many groups of 3 can I make if I have 8? I can make 2 groups. 3 times 2 is 6, and 8 minus 6 gives us a remainder of 2. This remainder of $2 cannot be divided evenly among the 3 groups, so that means that each group will get a total of $1,462. Let's move along to the next question. We have, which expression has the same value as 8 times 2, 6? So to figure that out, we need to actually solve this. So let's go ahead and do that. We have 8 times the fraction 2, 6. So I'm going to rename this whole number as a fraction, and I'm going to give it a denominator 1 because 8 divided by 1 is the same thing as 8. So I'm not changing it, I'm just renaming it, making it easier to work with. So I'm going to multiply across. 8 times 2 gives me 16, and 1 times 6 gives me 6. So I'm looking for one of these expressions that's going to be equal to 16 out of 6. So let's look over here. 16 times 2, 6. Is that going to give me 16 out of 6? No, because this is going to be multiplying the 16 times 2, so we can eliminate that. B, that's definitely not. We're going to get a completely different denominator than that because this denominator is 48. Eliminate that. 16 times 1, 6. If I multiply this times 1, I am going to get this. But let's look at the next choice. So the next choice can be eliminated for the same reason as choice B can be eliminated, because we get a completely different denominator, 48. So we can eliminate that. Our best choice is C. Check your work now. All right, let's move on. We have Nat and Eve are each making an 8-block tall tower. Nat used 2/8 of her blocks in the morning and 2/8 of her blocks in the afternoon. Eve used 6/8 of her blocks after school. How much more of the blocks did Eve use than Nat? Whoa, so a lot of wording, but it seems like it's pretty simple. We know that both have 8 blocks, and I know this because our denominators are out of 8. So we have two of our characters. We have Nat and then we have Eve. So let me look at the text over again. Nat used 2/8 in the morning and she used 2/8 in the afternoon. So 2/8 plus 2/8, that would mean she used 4/8. And Eve used 6/8 in after school, so 6/8. And now the question wants to know how much more of the total blocks did Eve use than Nat. So if Eve used 6/8 and Nat used 4/8, I can just subtract that to find the difference. So that would be 2/8. Eve used 2/8 more of her blocks than Eve did. Good work. Let's move on. So I just want to tell you that this was one of the most missed questions on your math review quiz, so I wanted to go over it with you. So let me just make this a little more clear for you to see. I'm going to zoom into it so we can see it better. Okay, there we go. So the question's telling us that Maria drew this angle, and we know the measure of this one right here, this angle down here, ABD, measures 55 degrees. It's a little hard to see because it's so tiny there. And we're trying to find the measure of angle DBC, okay? But I know what you might be asking yourself. How can we find that if we don't know the total of this entire angle? We do, however, see that this is a straight line. And although it's not given in the facts here, we know that a straight line measures 180 degrees. So to find the missing angle, if we know the total, we're going to take the total and we're going to subtract the part that we know to find the part that we're missing. So we're going to do 180 degrees minus 55 degrees. Okay? So I can't do 0 minus 5. I'm going to regroup. Okay? 10. 10 minus 5 gives us 5. And 7 minus 5 gives us 2. And this one, we bring it straight down. So we get 125 degrees is the measure of the missing angle. And we can do a check. 125 plus 55. And indeed, that measures 180. Gives us a total of 180. Alright guys, so today we're going to just unpack our POD number 1, and tomorrow we'll solve it. So Sophia went to the store to buy supplies for a picnic. A tablecloth costs 3 times as much as plates, and a tablecloth costs 4 times as much as napkins. Plates cost $3. Determine the total cost for 1 tablecloth, 1 pack of plates, and 1 pack of napkins. Whoa, really wordy. So let's look at it again. Sophia went to the store to buy supplies for a picnic. A tablecloth costs, so this is the tablecloth, costs 3 times as much as the plates. So I'm going to take note of that. So the tablecloth T for tablecloth, costs 3 times as much as plates. I don't know plates, so I'm just going to use P for plates. A tablecloth costs 4 times as much as napkins. So the tablecloth again, we don't know tablecloth, so I keep using T, costs 4 times as much as napkins. I don't know napkins, so I'm going to use N. Plates cost $3. So plates, that's easy, cost $3. Ooh, because I know what P is equal to, I can just plug that in there and kind of work backwards from there. Determine the total cost for 1 tablecloth, 1 pack of plates, and 1 napkins. So basically the final thing I'm looking for is a total where I'm going to add the tablecloth plus the plates plus the napkins. So I think my first step is to first find the tablecloth's cost. And I know this because I can just plug this number into there, to that equation that we wrote. Then that's going to help me find the cost of the napkins, because if I know a total here, I can work backwards. So I'm going to find the napkins. And third, I would have found all the parts that I'm looking for, the tablecloths, the napkins, and the plates already given to us. So then I'm going to find the total. All right, check back tomorrow when we solve the problem. Good work, everyone.